captain Nathan van Berlo's 68-game streak came to an end last weekend, but he's on the way back. We caught up with VB to see how he's tracking. VB unfortunately hurt the knee. How and when did the injury occur during the game?
Yeah, it happened in the second quarter, about halfway through. I haven't actually seen the footage yet, but I think I got a knock to the outside of my knee and struggled to sort of move around freely after that. And once I came out after half time, I was pretty hindered by the soreness on the outside of my knee. So halfway through the third quarter, the doctors and physios made the call to sub me off. And since then, we've had the scans done, and it was probably a wise move. And we've started our rehab now.
So you didn't know what you'd done at the time? I think the club was pretty
No, I didn't know. I didn't know what I'd done at the time. I sort of thought it was a corky. I just got a bad knock and was trying to keep it moving just to try and run it out. And while I could still run around, it wasn't nearly at the intensity or speed or change of direction that I needed to have to be out there on the ground and playing my role for the team. So subbed me off, and we'll just keep going about the rehab now so I can get back out there with the boys as soon as I can.
What's the post-match procedure for an injury like that when they're not quite sure what it is, but there is some swelling there?
Yeah, there's nothing we can really do initially for it. So I just stayed over the night at the club with Matty Wright and Rick Henderson, and we stayed on the ice machines in the sleeping quarters in the players' room there. So we had a night watching the soccer and stuck the ice machines all night, which was a bit of fun. But yeah, it's not the most comfortable experience sleeping on the ice machine. So I did that for most nights last week just to try and reduce the swelling and give my body the best chance of recovering. And so far it's been progressing really well. Most of the swelling's gone from my knee and around the areas. So now we can start progressing and just see how the knee pulls up from here.
What was it like sitting and watching last weekend? You haven't missed a game as captain and not one in 3 seasons.
Yeah, it was. I found it really awkward watching on the weekend. I got to the game and I didn't really know what to do. I didn't want to get in the boys' way, let alone I've been with them for the last couple of years doing, as you said, my normal match day routine, and definitely sitting in the stands watching the boys was difficult, but it was good to see them put forward a good performance and a good response from the week before. And I know it feels like we're getting our backyard sorted now so that we can start playing some consistent footy.
You were in a knee brace last week, but what have you been able to do so far in your recovery?
I was able to get rid of the knee brace, which was a big step at the end of last week. So I was only in that for a few days, which was the plan all along. For me this week, I've just been doing a bit of bike riding, some work on the grinder and Versa, which is just upper body exercises, a bit on the elliptical, and even did a little bit of running on the Ultra G machine yesterday, which takes a bit of my weight off my legs. So we'll keep progressing that until I can run at my full body weight and go outside and start doing some change of direction and that sort of thing. So still a few boxes to tick, but so far it's coming along nicely.
Had you used the Ultra G before? What was that like?
Yeah, I've used it once in the pre-season, but it almost feels like you're cheating when you're running. When you actually are fit, it's you feel like you're flying, you're floating along, and then you run out on the actual grass, and you feel a lot slower than what you probably should. So it is really good for rehab and for guys coming back from injuries, particularly lower limb injuries. So I'm pretty thankful we've got that machine around now.
Rehab can be a pretty lonely place. How important is the support of the doctors and the medical staff and the physios? Yeah,
it's hugely important that, for myself and for anyone else in rehab, that we get the right advice from our doctors, from our physios and the rehab staff as to what the extent of our injury is and what the next steps are to progress our rehab so that we can come back fitter and stronger than what we were beforehand, so that we don't redo the injury or make any of our bodies worse off than what we were beforehand. So we rely heavily on their expertise and advice, and they also offer pretty good support for us too while we're sometimes on your own in rehab. But at the moment I've got a couple of guys keeping me company, so that it makes time go by a bit quicker. Fortunately,
you haven't spent too much time in rehab, like we said, the 68 games in a row, I think it was. How many times during those 68 games did you come close to missing a game?
I can't really think off the top of my head how many games I came close to, but there's been a few times where you cop some nasty knocks, or probably after most games you wonder how you're going to recover for the next week, to be honest, and it takes a couple of days. But with the recovery protocols and the general layout of the week that we've got nowadays, it's so professional, and your body almost gets in a routine of feeling really sore after the game, and within 48 hours, 72 hours, you feel like you're getting back to being fully recovered. And it's funny, you know, I sometimes feel really bad the day before a game, but then come game day I'm ready to go again. So I think my body just gets in a cycle and it knows how best to recover for another week.
Bit of a different one. First AFL game in New Zealand this week. You got a bit of New Zealand background in your family?
Yeah, I have. I have to see if any of my rellies are going to watch, because Mum and Dad are both Kiwis. So not down in, it's in Wellington, I think, isn't it, the game? So yeah, we're all in the North Island, my family. So we'll have to see if any of them choose to head along to the Aussie rules. But yeah, they do send me a text every now and again to see how the Crows are getting on, or they watch our games every now and again. But they're all rugby through and through over there. But if any of the Van Berlos over there do support a team, it's definitely the Crows, so that's always good.
So you'd be happy to play a game over there? You'd have a fair bit of support?
Yeah, I would. I'd love to. We'll get up the Tauranga, Mount Maunganui area, up the middle of the North Island, and no doubt we'll be able to fill up a little bit of the area of the stand anyway.
Stay tuned to Channel Crow for more news and exclusive videos.